Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to the Peak Adventures review of 2024. I'll also be taking a quick look to the future and future plans for the channel. As of right now, the 21st of December, I have done 52 adventures this year. I still have a few days left of the year, and I may get another one or two adventures in. I'm going to start off by taking a look back at the year and giving you some top fives. First up are my top 5 finds of the year. Now, just to clarify, I'm not trying to claim that I am the first person to go to these places and see these things, but these are all things which many people don't go to. And coming in at number 5 is a find which I can't really tell you about just yet. It's a walk I did a week ago on the 14th of December. That video is finished and it will probably be published in a week's time, and you'll be able to find out for yourself what it is I discovered or found or refound. I found something pretty cool. Next up from July is Hollingworth Clough Waterfall. Now this is a feature that I saw on the Ordnance Survey map. There are no paths to get to it. It was quite difficult to get to it. A very steep climb down and then a very steep climb back up again after I went to the waterfall. But the waterfall is amazing. It's really beautiful. You can just tell that people do not go there. It's not a huge waterfall, but it's a pretty decent size, and I really enjoyed being there. After visiting the waterfall, I followed the clough back down for a fair distance, and then I decided to go up the side, which was a very steep climb up. But it was a really good experience. After visiting, I did do a search on YouTube to find out whether there were any other videos. I found one other video featuring the waterfall, which was a few years old. Coming in at number 3, we have the Dogstone. Now, of all the discoveries, this is probably the one I have least claim to. Plenty of people know that this is here, but not that many people visit it, and a lot of people have tried and failed to locate it. That said, there are a few videos on YouTube featuring the Dogstone. It was my first time to go there, and I think that I took a different approach with my video. I tried to put it in the context of the quarry and all the amazing features in the quarry. And it's only really in that context that the Dogstone makes sense. For those of you who haven't watched the video or don't know about the Dogstone, it is a carved, inscribed rock in a quarry. It's written in code. At number 2, we have a brilliant discovery of a well, an old well, near Glossop Low Quarries. On this particular adventure, I checked out the quarries, I checked out a couple of ruined shooting cabins, and then I went looking for something that is marked on the map, but there's no evidence that anyone goes there. I mean, the well is left uncovered. It's a health and safety nightmare. I'm sure the landowner, if they knew about it, they would cover it up to stop lawsuits from people with broken legs. There's no evidence that anyone comes here anymore. Who knows how old this well is, but it's pretty impressive. I've never seen a well quite like this before, with steps leading down into it. And then at number 1, taking the top spot, is the waterfall on Fairvarge Clough on Chunnel Moor. Again, this waterfall is marked on the Ordnance Survey map, But again, there are no paths to get to it. And when I was there, there was no evidence that people do go there. I've not found anything on YouTube. And it's a really impressive waterfall. It's really big. It's really beautiful. And I just loved being there. I was blown away by the fact that other people don't seem to know about this waterfall, and people just don't go there, don't visit it. It was absolutely incredible. So that's my number one. Now, if you were to ask me on another day to list the order of these finds, I might put them in a completely different order. They were all incredible places to visit. Coming up next, we have the top 5 locations from the year. Again, if you were to ask me on a different day, there might be other places on this list, or the ordering of this list might be totally different. But here we are anyway with my top 5 locations. In 5th place then, we have Calf Top. Now this is a very recent walk. It was from my stay in Cumbria, my first time to go to Calf Top. I think the snow is what really made it. It was fantastic. There was just nothing else to see other than hills and mountains. I could have been anywhere in the world. I could have been on any mountain range. I loved it. In 4th place, we have the Dean Head Stones. Now, this is from a walk which I did back in January. It was my first time to visit the rock formation. The rock formation is right at the very top of the Upper Derwent Valley. It's on a section of Bleaklow which is fairly inaccessible, difficult to get to. Not many people go there. It was my first time there. The views towards Swains Grieve were just jaw-dropping, and I loved it. The rocks themselves, the rock formation, incredible shapes, and the light on that day was pretty impressive as well. It turned into a really good video. Coming in at number 3, we have Oakenclough and Ewden Beck. So Oakenclough is a small clough that goes into Ewden Beck. Both are really special places. When I first went to Oakenclough, it was just full of little tiny cascades. There was moss hanging off trees. It was just a very lush place. Clearly no one goes there. And then I followed Ewden Beck along, which is very overgrown but also very magical. These locations I actually visited twice on 2 different walks. My second favourite location of the year is near Black Clough. Now this is one of the 3 black cloughs on the northern side of Bleaklow. The famous one is Middle Black Clough, which I have been to, but this one is less visited. I went there with Simon, and it was just incredible. As you can see from the images, it was a foggy day, and the place genuinely looked so magical in the mist. There is a fairly large waterfall on near Black Clough, so Simon and I hiked up the clough itself, past all the smaller waterfalls up to the biggest waterfall on the clough. And taking the top spot for my favourite location of 2024 are 2 quarries right next to each other, Danebower and Reeves Edge quarries. My first time to visit them, and they were spectacular. Really impressive, lots of ruins, lots of dramatic landscapes. It was brilliant exploring that area. It's very close to places and paths which do get quite busy, but I was the only person exploring the quarries, and I need to go back there. It's such an amazing place. Finally, for my review of 2024, here are my top 5 walks. At number 5, we have a walk on Crooked Clough on Bleaklow. Now, this walk was originally just a recce walk to check out a few different possibilities. It wasn't my intention to actually walk Crooked Clough, but I wasn't really feeling it. The first bit of wandering around wasn't really doing anything for me. So in the end, when I got to Crooked Clough, I decided to actually go ahead and walk it. And wow, it was pretty cool. And a couple of fairly big waterfalls in the middle, a big waterfall at the top, which I already have visited. And it was just an unexpected walk and an unexpected pleasure. At number 4, we have Chunnel Moor. Now, this is an area of moorland that I've walked near to, close to, on a number of occasions, but had never actually gone to the moorland. And I do think it does get overlooked a little bit. So there was a new trig point for me, the Harry Hutt trig. And one of the exciting things about this walk is I'd looked on the map and I'd seen a few interesting features off-piste on the moorland, and I went looking for them and I found them. So this is the walk where I found my top discovery for the year, which was the Fair Varge Clough waterfall, which just exceeded all expectations. But there were plenty of other waterfalls on the walk as well, and it was just thoroughly enjoyable. Coming in at number 3 is Broadclough. This is a fairly recent walk. Previously, I had seen Broadclough when I did the Dogstone walk, and I said then that I wanted to come back and walk the clough and explore it. So that's what I did. A few weeks later, I went looking for an old shooting cabin. I couldn't really find it. But the best part of the walk was the fact that the fog was rolling over the top of Kinder Scout. I'm not sure if it was fog or low cloud, but it was pretty impressive. And then the walk down Broadclough with lots of little waterfalls. No one goes walking there. I had the place to myself. It was really pretty, and it was just really enjoyable. At the number 2 spot, we have a walk that I did back in April. It was on a part of Kinder Scout that not many people go to. There's Fairbrook Clough, which is fairly well visited, but off Fairbrook Clough there are these 3 smaller cloughs called the Seal Cloughs. And I had a walk around the middle and upper Seal Cloughs. Fantastic. Loads of little cascades, loads of little waterfalls. Beautiful. No one goes there. I loved it. It was really, really difficult to choose my all-time favourite walk for 2024. If you ask me on a different day, I'll probably come up with a different number 1, but I've chosen White Clough. This was a walk that took an unexpected turn. The weather changed quite dramatically. This low cloud came up the clough. I got pretty wet, but at the same time, the views were spectacular. And I loved it. I loved it. So what I would like to do now is talk a little bit about the future of the channel, 2025. I do have plenty of ideas for the channel. You can expect more explore walks, undoubtedly more waterfalls, more clough explorations, more remote spots, more ruins, more history, more walks with stories, but also some classic Peak District walks. Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you very much to all of my subscribers for all of the amazing support that you've given me and the channel in 2024. I hope that you have a fantastic new year. Best wishes to you in 2025. Take care.